Hey, Impact, Brad here. I'm so pumped to spend a little time with you and bring you into a really special relationship we have as a youth group. We're going to spend some time talking with former Pathway student, former Fort Wayne kid who graduated several years ago, who is now a missionary in Thailand. His name is Devin Hubbard, and you have been hearing us talk about Devin from time to time back usually about at the beginning of each month, because we do Change for Change on the first Wednesday of every month, and we have been giving towards the Prosperous Youth Foundation and towards the ministry that Devin Hubbard is engaged in Thailand. And so we're going to spend some time, Devin and I, we're talking over Zoom right now. First of all, we know that there are a lot of you who have heard us briefly mention the Prosperous Youth Foundation in Thailand, and I think there are several that have no idea what the Prosperous Youth Foundation is. And so, Devin, you have been serving with PYF for several years. Would you take a moment and just tell us a little bit about what in the world you are doing and what in the world PYF does?
Yeah, so Prosperous Youth Foundation, you can just call it PYF for short. But our vision is we want to be a bridge that connects youth and children's homes to the full life that God has for them. And so how we do that is we do not have a children's home, but what we see is we have a network, so a relationship that we've developed over the past almost 10 years now that PYF has existed with around 60 to 70 different children's or youth homes in Chiang Mai, Thailand. And there's a lot of displaced tribal people. So they're ethnic groups that aren't the Thai people, and they have sort of been pushed off to the outskirts of the country. And so a lot of them don't have citizenship, and there's a lot of challenges with that. So these families, either because it's a broken family, they don't feel like they can care for their child, they send their child from 2 years old all the way up to maybe 18 years old into the city of Chiang Mai, which is about 1 million people. And they kind of conglomerate, they come together in these children's homes. That's our demographic. And the way that we do that specifically is we focus on training. So that is both like leadership training for youth and discipleship training for youth who want to serve God. It is training staff at different children's homes to care for the children better. So we also do advocacy. So training, advocacy is our second piece. And that's part of what we do is we try to share about the issues that these children and these youth are going through in the community. One specific focus is trying to connect Thai Christian families that would be interested in fostering to care for one of the children in the homes, because it's better for them to grow up in a family than it is in one of these orphanages or children's homes.
One of the big ways we're looking to be a part of the work of God in Thailand through PYF and through you is through our generosity, is the opportunity that we have to give and to be generous with resources that we have. And we often think of high school students as not having a lot of resources. They're not making the big bucks yet. But our students have been incredibly generous as they've given. And we've been able to really be a part and join in with you. Devin, in 2020, our students don't know this, but in 2020, our high school ministry at Pathway was able to receive through donations and through offerings over $4,300 that we were able to send to PYF.
So yeah.
And it is crazy. And so, Devin, we celebrate that as a youth group, and we hope that that's been a blessing to you. I would love to give you a chance just to share a little bit about some of the ways that gifts like that, gifts of even maybe a few $100s or a few $1,000s, that you guys are able to take those funds and use them for the good of the kingdom and for the good of those students and young people that you're serving.
I mean, I've never heard of a youth group that's able to raise that kind of financial support for anything. And what an example of what it means to serve and worship God through your finances as high school students, right? So I want to share the impact of that. I could share about a lot of specific programs and things that money goes to, but I'd actually like to share about one specific person. But Dom, he is the second youngest child in a family of 12, and his family is from a Hmong village. It's one of the tribal groups, and his family sent him into one of these children's homes because they felt like they didn't have enough financial support to be able to care for him. This began a program that we call Youth Leadership Academy, but it's a year-long program with this group of students. We come alongside them and we help them, give them opportunities to learn and to practice what it means to serve God. He eventually became the one who directed a service project that we were running, which was an outreach camp in a village for 3 days. And now he's a mentor with other students that are in the Youth Leadership Academy program that we have. So that story of a student who's been involved in different things that we do and the impact that that's had on him is what you're giving toward. I wish that all of you could come and you could meet him, that you could see him smile, that you could hear him pray. And these spaces wouldn't have been created if it wasn't for the type of financial partnership that you guys have given. So it's someone who's just like you, who happens to be born into a different situation, but also worships the same God that we do. And I just think that's so cool. So again, I just want to thank you guys for that. And I hope you see how amazing that impact is.
Devin, thank you. We love you. We're so proud of you. And I know that this partnership means a lot to you as well. And to our Impact students, hey, let's keep being generous towards the ministry of Jesus Christ in Thailand through the Prosperous Youth Foundation.